We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Izuku, he don't live in reality. Shake back off, become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, back with you with another new part of What If Izuku Had a Keyblade. This is part 13, and in the last part, we went on that of a, slight tangent part, focusing on the staff of UA, worried about that of Bakugo. Given that, he was able to create that of Unversed and attack those from Class 1B during the cavalry battle. As many of them believing that he's gained out of a secondary quirk, and he's unable to control it. However, that's far from the case, actually, as they done test on him and realizing that he doesn't have a secondary quirk, with even finding side effects of strain, stress, and basically high blood pressure, with even Nezu getting a certain little, conversation with that of the Master of Masters. Not only that, Izuku, just like in canon, with that of Shoto, he tells him about the past, how the reason why he doesn't use his left side being his flames, and why he will do anything to defeat Izuku to prove that he's the best. However, Izuku not laying down, given everything that he's also gone through, all of the training, all of the stress, all of the fighting heartless and nobodies and unversed. To somebody like Shoto, he's basically acting like a spoiled child. Not only that, turns out Izuku had to explain that of heartless, nobodies, and the unversed to the staff of UA, and also talking about that, the darkness and the light within inside people, while still keeping the secret about his Keyblade still being his quirk. With all of the information now, Nezu plans on putting an end to this before anybody gets hurt. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? After the conversation with that of the staff of UA, Izuku heading to the cafeteria, getting ready to eat, as Ochako, Ida, and Tokoyami basically saved a seat for Izuku. Within, Ochako saying, "Hey, Midoriya, you okay?" With then saying, I'm fine, Uraka." Within, Ida saying, "What did the teachers want from you, Midoriya? I surely hope it wasn't anything too bad." Within saying, "Oh, nothing. It's nothing like that, Ida. Trust me." Tokoyami couldn't help but cross his arms saying, "Does it have to do with Bakugo by any chance?" Within, everything becomes somewhat tense. Within saying, "What gives you that idea, Tokoyami?" Within saying, "Your nervousness, of course." Within, Izuku realized, damn, I really need to fix that. Also, let's bring up the fact that throughout the entirety of the sports festival, Bakugo has been gunning for you this entire time, no matter what happens. Not to mention, let's bring up the fact about what he did during the cavalry battle. Within, Ochako saying, "Oh yeah, man, that was crazy. Who knew that Bakugo had a secondary quirk and to create those monsters out there?" Within, Ida saying, "I have to say the same. And not only that, it seemed like he was only focusing on those from Class 1B, which is truly despicable. This is a competition, and we're supposed to show what we're capable of, But we're also supposed to have that of good sportsmanship and respect for one another. I will not lie, though the person from that of Class 1B, what was his name? Monoma, I believe, was deplorable, but the way that Bakugo basically went out of his way to try and aim for him and anyone tied to him in his class was deplorable. Within, Izuku internally thinking while sitting down, saying, actually, it's not too surprising. Anyone whose darkness is consumed by one thing and one thing only, that being the thing that fuels their darkness, the hatred that basically forces their darkness to unleash outside of the world. For Kachan, that would be within, thinking of himself before shaking his head, as he then thinks, Class 1B, whatever that guy Monoma said, basically set him off pretty much, to the point that his darkness was able to create Unversed. I don't even know how that's even possible. If I recall, Unversed is only able to be able to be created from people's full negative emotions. His emotions can't be that bad that his darkness is able to create Unversed. Surely his hatred for me couldn't be that bad, can it? All I've been doing is trying to be friends with him, trying to go back to how things used to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want to be friends with him as long as he's acting the way he is. I don't see him as a rival as long as he's acting the way he always has been. Is that one of the reasons why he hates me so much? It's because I don't see him as a rival? I don't see him as an equal? Well then, Izuku thinking this, as he couldn't help but say, maybe, but that's not my fault. That's his fault for thinking that. So why is everybody else paying the price for just me wanting to live my dream? With then soon, Ida saying, Midoriya! With then Izuku getting out of his thoughts saying, huh? Oh, sorry, I zoned out there for a bit. With then Izuku saying, you were saying, Ida? As Ida saying, I'm saying, it seems that Bakugo has arrived. With then Izuku basically flinching for a bit saying, Kachan's here? With then, soon, Ochako basically pointing, looking back, seeing that of Bakugo sitting all by himself. Hell, not even Kirishima or Mina or even Sero or even bothering sitting right next to that of Bakugo, as he basically glares straight at that of Izuku. Fuel eyes of death. But then Tokiyami can up and say, he's staring straight at you, Midoriya. And those eyes don't speak of kindness or anything else. They speak of only one thing, your demise. Within, soon, Izuku could help but gulp, saying, yeah, I'm not too surprised. Within, Izuku internally thinking, but I am surprised that he hasn't turned into a Heartless from the hatred. Why hasn't the Heartless attacked him yet? Why haven't they tried to consume his heart and then turn him into a Heartless? Surely if he turns into a Heartless, he would most likely become a really powerful one. Same in sort. The same thing also goes for his Nobody. Even his Nobody would still have that of the power, would still have both magic and his quirk. So again, why? Why waste this opportunity? Why the Heartless haven't basically consumed him yet? But then Izuku shaking his head saying, that's not important. Right now, I just hope that as the next event begins, nothing bad happens. With then soon, Izuku basically standing up saying, I'm gonna go and get me something to eat. Within, everybody thinking, oh, sure, take care, Midoriya. But then Izuku smiling and waving as he gets in line to get something to eat. However, during this time, as everybody's on break, the staff of UA began to prepare for that of the third event. And the first part of the third event as well. The most important part. Arriving back in the arena with then soon, as President Mike was about to announce that of the third event and what they'll be planning for that of it. Before then, noticing, just like in canon, the girls of Class 1A began wearing cheerleader uniforms, courtesy of Mineta and Kaminari, with Jiro basically pissed, Ochako basically embarrassed alongside Momo. However, Mina, Toru, and basically Sue not really phased too much by it after all. However, Sue is still pretty much annoyed though. With then, Izuku couldn't help but think, well, at least that happened. Before then, soon, Midnight couldn't help but say, now getting back on track, we'll be getting that of the third event. With then, soon, somebody raising their hand as it being Ojiro, saying, I would like to bow out for that of the third competition. Within hearing this, everybody's completely shocked and surprised, even Izuku. Within soon, Izuku going to Ojiro saying, Ojiro, but why? You don't need to. Within saying, during the second event, I didn't feel like I earned that spot. I didn't feel like I basically earned it at all. I can't even remember what even happened halfway through it. And it has to do with the guy from General Studies. If I basically go into the third event without even knowing how I even got that far, I'd be disrespecting myself and disrespecting everybody else who tried their best to reach as far as they did. So that's why I had to bow out of this. Within, the boy from Class 1B, a pudgy young boy with that of silver hair, Shota, is saying, I wish to bow out too. I feel the same way as Ojiro as well. I had no idea what was happening either, so I feel like I haven't earned my spot too. I think there are some people who deserve it better than I do. With then hearing this, Midnight saying, I see. It's truly a shame that you feel like this, you too. However, your determination, your beliefs, and your ideas truly turns me on. I will allow it. Within, everybody again thinking, does she need to say that to that of a bunch of kids? As the next team that would have, gotten as much points as before would be taking her spots, such as that of Kendo's team. However, just like Canon, she basically decides not to, feeling like she didn't earn it as well, especially given what happened during the second event. Within, soon, the next team up being that of Tetsu's team, of course. Just like in Canon, Tetsu, alongside that of Shirazu, begins to take their spots. As now, it's time for the racket. As she explained, saying, we'll be having that of one-on-one fights, just like every other year of the sports festival. Each racket and each placement will be done randomly. So, whoever you have in the first racket, you better be prepared and better be ready to take them on, because there's no going back. Within, after saying this, within soon, seeing the placements, as the first match is between that of Izuku and Bakugo. Within seeing this, Izuku's eyes couldn't help but widen in shock. As for Bakugo, he having that of a dramatic grin on his face, a grin of pure, unadulterated evil. Within, Izuku saying, I'm fighting against Gachan in the first match? But why? Within, realizing, no. This is perfect. This is the best chance I get. If I'm the only one that can take down Kachan in his unversed. If anything, I'm the only one that can basically put him down. If anyone else fight against him while he's being empowered by the darkness, who knows what would happen? Who knows on how many people he would hurt? I know Kachan doesn't care about people that much, but he still cares about his own image at least a bit. If people see him basically try to nearly kill somebody to attempted murder to the point, he would most likely be kicked out of UA. Worst of all, many people would basically blacklist him from being a pro. And that would be worse. I can't have that. I don't want Kachan to lose his dream, so I need to do it. I need to remove his darkness from his heart. But doing that, within remembering the memories of the dreams that he had, that of Ventus's darkness being removed from his heart, creating Vanitas, leaving Ventus almost half of a husk of a person, with his heart basically fractured. But there is another way to help Kachan. But then realizing I have to seal his heart away. It's the only option. If I steal his heart away, then the darkness will slowly be removed from his heart and from his body. And also doing so, Kachan will finally be able to confront that darkness within him. Either he accepts it to the very end, or he finds a way to control it, or it will control him. But this is Kachan, I know. He's not the kind of person to give in so easily after all. But it's my turn to help him. Is this Kachan? No, this Katsuki Bakugo isn't the person I used to admire back as a kid. He isn't the symbol of victory I admired. However, on Bakugo's mind, on the other hand, he's saying, I get to kill Deku. I get to finally kill Deku. I finally get to put him in his place. I finally get to make him suffer. I finally make sure that he knows who's on top. I finally get to see him grovel like he used to. Ever since he came to UA, nothing has gone right. Nothing has gone the same. I should have been the top dog at this damn school. Just because a few of these extras have good quirks doesn't mean a damn thing. It's always his fault. It's his fault that I was suspended. It was his fault that people don't know to see the greatness when they see me. It's his fault that everybody looks at me like I'm Deku. I am not Deku. He's the worthless Deku. He's the worthless, quirkless, and useless nerd that deserves nothing but be the pebble beneath me. No, he deserves to be nothing but powdered dust beneath me. And in this match, I'll finally be able to achieve it. Oh, Deku, just you watch. Your life I'll make just like before. Just like the good old days. Everything will go back to normal once I put you back in your place. As the darkness begins to radiate off of Bakugo, making those around him feel absolutely uncomfortable. As just like in canon, all of the brackets are still the same as always. The only difference, since Bakugo is being replaced by that of, Shinso will be faced against Ochako, making her feel at least a little bit, confident in herself, at least a bit, but unaware of what his quirk really is, though. With now giving that at least a few more minutes before they start the match. While everybody's doing that of recreational activities and games, mainly those from Class 1B. Izuku, on the other hand, is basically preparing for himself as he goes through that of his keychains, wondering on which keychain would be perfect. Now, as he definitely needs to use that of Aizawa's Keyblade, of course, being that of the dry eyes. It's the only Keyblade that's able to nullify quirks, especially emitter-type quirks, mostly. And knowing Bakugo, he'll always use his quirk all the time. He does use his whole body to fight too, but it's his quirk that's his number one aspect after all. But then he comes to the realization that he could be summoning out of Unversed as the fight goes on. And if that happens, who knows on how many innocent people get hurt. If that happens, he needs to create that of a barrier as soon as possible to keep all the Unversed inside alongside him as well. By that time, it would be a lot more dangerous, but Izuku was willing to take the risk if need be. Soon, as Izuku is getting out of his game plan, somebody comes up behind him saying, "Hey, Izuku!" Within him basically freaking out a bit as he soon basically jumps up in the air before stepping back with a frantic look on his face before saying, Nejire-senpai! Finally noticing that of the bubbly, periwinkle blue-haired girl, as she's still having that of her eternal smile on her face as always, within saying, "So, what are you doing all the way out here? I figured you would spend time more with your classmates or friends." Within Izuku saying, "Well, normally, yeah, but I'm trying to psych myself up, especially since I'm be fighting in the first round after all." Within, she's saying, "Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But knowing your show on how strong you truly are. I mean, look what you've done throughout the entirety of the first event and the second. I've never seen somebody taking first place twice in both same events after all. Normally, it's always split apart with then saying, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I've seen the sports festival a few times here and there as well. But what about you? With then, she tilting her head saying, what about me? Saying, aren't you getting ready? I mean, I know that the third year sports festival is at least out of 2 days, but still, I figured within, she's saying, oh, don't worry, I got everything planned out. Besides, tomorrow I'll be focusing on improving what I need to improve on. But today, within, placing her hand on Izuku's shoulder with him blushing as shaking too, saying, I'm here to cheer you on all the way. Then Izuku saying, thanks, senpai. With then she giggling, saying, he's so adorable when he acts like this. With then somebody in the distance saying, Hado. With then hearing that voice, as both Izuku and Nejire know this voice all too well, as it being the Dragoon hero herself, Ryuku, as Nejire saying, oh, Ryuku, hi. With then saying, Nejire, I was wondering where you went off to. I was wondering what you were doing, and now I see why. Within noticing Izuku, she mentally thinking, Izuku Midoriya. He has the same kind of quirk as the Key Warrior, and he's one of the number one suspects of the Key Warrior's antics for the past year or so. It seems Nejire has taken my advice of keeping an eye on him pretty closely, pretty accurately, but still, the sword he has is completely different from the one that the Key Warrior has. Well, his is basically mimicking All Might, color scheme and all, while the other one has that of a more dark green and black one, actually. But possibly, he may have some connection to the Key Warrior in another way. Hopefully, Nejire is able to get some information out of him. Within, getting out of her thoughts, saying, it's nice to meet you, young man. Izuku Midoriya, I presume, saying, yes, ma'am. It's truly an honor to meet that of the current number 8 pro of Japan. As he bows his head, within, she can't help but laugh a bit, saying, none of that, Midoriya, please. I may be in my Ryuku persona right now, but currently I'm just like anyone else here, a spectator watching the next generation of UA showing what they're capable of when they debut as a pro. Within, Izuku couldn't help but smile, saying, I see. Thank you. I appreciate that confidence, saying, I appreciate even more. But still, somebody of your talents already coming this far, taking 2 events at first place, and not only that, is capable of handling himself as well. Truly, you're something else. Within, hearing the praise from that of Ryuku, one of his favorite heroes, within, she's saying, Nejire, we should probably get back to the stands. It's almost about time for Midoriya to begin his match. Within, Izuku looking, basically bringing out his phone before saying, oh, I have at least only 20 minutes left. Within, she's saying, then you better get ready and psych yourself up even more. I'll be rooting for you, Izuku. Within, Nejire following after that of Ryuku, as the two basically walk away. With Izuku couldn't help but smile, thinking, even though they've come in contact with me being the Key Warrior so many times, but just meeting them as them, outside of their hero personas, it's just feels nice, actually. I'm hoping to get to know them better. Within, Ryuku asking, so, you still think he's the Key Warrior? Within, Nejire saying, it's still too early to say, Ryuku. Honestly, I'm really hoping that he's not. I just hope that he just has the same similar quirk as the Key Warrior, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. But I won't lie. Within, she basically wrapping her arms around that of on the side of her other arms. Within, saying, I know that he's hiding things from me. Some things that I feel like they are too much for him to even bear. I feel like he doesn't trust me too much, and it kind of hurts. Why does it hurt? Not feeling like he truly trusts me entirely. With then looking at that of her protege, Ryuku couldn't help but sigh, saying, I I'm not really good at this either, Nejire, but it may be because you might have feelings for the young man. Within, she's saying, wait, what? Saying, it's just my own speculation. Even I put my whole entire hero career over that of my, well, personal life after all. Because I generally want to help those in need, protect those too. I want to support both heteromorph users alongside transformable quirk users as well. To do that, I had to put my all into being a hero, to represent my people. That also meant putting away my personal life, my wants, my needs, my feelings for others, my personal feelings for others aside as well. Nejire, within placing her hand on that of her protege's shoulder, as the two stopped, saying, don't follow my path, okay? Follow your own. If you're still wanting to be a hero, embrace it. But don't put aside your own emotions and feelings just for that dream alone. Trust me, a lot of pros nowadays regret that, especially when you reach the top 10. Within, Nejire, eyes begin to tear up a little bit, saying, thanks. Thank you, Ryuku. As the two ladies continue walking. However, with now time going by, with now the arena now modified thanks to that of cement toss, creating that an arena platform, with the crowd going wild, with President Mike speaking, and now, what we all have been waiting for, the final event, the event that everybody has been highly anticipating. This is the one-on-one fights. Well, everybody, those from that of the second event, will finally be able to show what they're truly capable of against their opponents. Let's see what they can do. And starting off with the first fight, he has been taking this sports festival by the reins, has been coming in first place in all 2 events. And now, let's see he can go for 3 for 3. It's the mysterious Keyblade Warrior. He may have a plain look, but he has heart to show it all. Here he is, Izuku Midoriya! As the crowd goes wild for that of the messy greenette, as he couldn't help but feel a little bit embarrassed by that of President Mike's, commentary about him by introducing him. But that embarrassment is soon set aside, especially when he hears the commentary for his opponent. And as for his opponent, he's been giving it his all just like Midoriya throughout this entire event. He has the determination, the will, the power, and during the second event, he even surprised many of us with that of his newest power, of his quirk. As President Mike says this, however, Shota, on the other hand, couldn't help but feel somewhat narrow his eyes, mentally thinking, I can't believe we literally had to lie and say it's a quirk and not some kind of parasitic darkness consuming Bakugo. Still can't believe that's even real. As President Mike continues his commentary, saying, from the look of his eyes alone, he's destined to wanting to get it all, wanting to show what he's truly capable of. Giving a round of applause for Katsuki Bakugo! As, however, the crowd is somewhat split. Some are cheering for him to give it his all, while some aren't really cheering at all. Hell, some are not even booing either. Well, there are a few, but not a lot. Some mainly look at that of Bakugo with pure and utter fear. And that's because of one thing that hasn't stopped radiating off of him since he arrived in the arena. That being the darkness wafting off of him. As right now, all he can see is red. And the only thing in color, it being Izuku. With then saying, Deku! With Izuku feeling a bit nervous, but then putting aside that nervousness, as he has that of a serious look on his face. As for Bakugo, it just makes him even more angrier, not seeing the fear on him like he used to. With then, soon, Midnight saying, are the both of you ready? Midoriya, are you ready? Saying, yes ma'am. But then she pointed her whip at Bakugo, saying, Bakugo, are you? I am ready, let's get this shit started! As she couldn't help but flinch for a bit before shaking her head, saying, now begin! As Bakugo does not hesitate as he goes straight for that of Izuku, blasting him forward, with Izuku bringing out that of the dry eyes, Aizawa's Keyblade, with then soon Aizawa basically blinking multiple times before then Person Mike saying, "Whoa, look at this. I didn't expect that. Midoriya would have a Keyblade tied to one of our UA faculty." As Bakugo didn't care, as just like always, he goes for that of a straight right hook explosion towards Izuku's face and body. However, Izuku not even phased, as then he switches his Keyblade to that of his left hand, before then swiping his Keyblade to the palm of Bakugo's hands, as the explosion, which should have basically connected with Izuku, basically completely and utterly disappears entirely, with then Bakugo completely and utterly shocked, before then getting a kick to that of his chest, sending him flying due to the momentum that he had after all. With then soon, the crowd couldn't help but get surprisingly excited, with President Mike screaming, "Oh, and Midoriya gets first blood! The first hit is Midoriya's right here and now, folks!" With then bringing down his mic, before then saying, "Hey, I didn't think that you had any merchandise." With then saying, "Usually I don't. Back in the day, I had at least a few bit of merchandise when I was still at the same agency when I was starting out after we graduated from UA. I was completely and utterly against the whole damn merchandising idea. However, my agency wanted me to. Originally, I would have told him to shove it. However, with then looking at that of his, blonde-haired, orange aviator sunglasses wearing friend, before saying, "I really need the money so I can move out of your place, though." With then soon, he's saying, "Ouch. Really? You gotta hit a guy when it hurts, don't you, Shota?" Before going back to the commentary, within looking back at the arena, saying, "Oh, looks like Bakugo's getting back up," and sending another flurry of explosions, saying, "Die, Deku!" However, Izuku not even fazed by this, as he sends that of multiple slashes towards that of Bakugo, as the explosions completely dissipate from each and every one of the slashes, almost like they completely disappear entirely. With that too, Bakugo getting even more angry. You could even see that of his veins basically popping out of the side of his forehead. With Izuku taking the attack to Bakugo. With then, Bakugo's trying to send that of another powerful explosion, trying to blast back Izuku. However, Izuku jumps up into the air, flipping while spinning, before then slicing down his Keyblade onto Bakugo's back, as he soon winces in pain, as he cuts right through that of his UA gym uniform. Within, the crowd completely going wild for this. However, little did they know, even though he cut right through the uniform, the darkness still protected Bakugo, as Izuku couldn't help but click his tongue. Within, Bakugo tries to send a powerful explosion towards Izuku, within Izuku blocking the attack, skidding him backwards. However, not enough to basically give him a ring out. With Izuku still trying to catches his breath. However, Bakugo, relentless, tries to send another blast of explosions. Within, Izuku dodging out of the way before Bakugo changing his trajectory, heading straight for Izuku, before then slamming his leg into that of Izuku's side, as Izuku couldn't help but gasp a bit. Within, without warning, he grabs him by that of his gym uniform and then using his explosion to repel him by slamming him on the other side of the arena. With then, seeing this, everybody was completely and utterly shocked and off guard. However, Bakugo isn't stopping there, as using another powerful explosion to repel him forward, as Izuku using his Keyblade to keep his steady. However, Bakugo doesn't stop there, saying, "Stun grenade!" With then, the shining light blinds Izuku for a bit, before then getting slammed to the ground by a powerful explosion. Within, soon the crowd completely, utterly shocked. However, on the other hand, Bakugo did not stop there, as he slams his foot into that of Izuku's head, with over and over and over and over again, with the crowd completely and utterly shocked and dumbfounded. With then soon Bakugo saying, "What's the matter, Deku? Can't stand up now? Can't do anything now? Stay down, you worthless, useless trash!" As he does this over and over, with everybody in Class 1A completely and utterly shocked, some even completely disgusted by Bakugo's actions, with even the crowd basically telling Bakugo to stop, with some pros basically that they should stop the match. However, little did anybody knows, Izuku basically stands his ground as he grabs Bakugo's leg, but then Bakugo completely and utterly shocked. However, there's a bit of blood basically that broke through that of Izuku's head, with even a few bruises on the back of his head that also show that of blood merging too. Within, soon, Izuku having that of a serious look on his face, before then pointing his Keyblade straight at that of Bakugo, before not even fazed by this, as he soon says, "Water!" Within, a blast of water comes from that of the Keyblade, drenching that of Bakugo, with then soon Bakugo's completely and utterly shocked as he's blasted by the water, as he basically rolls on that of the arena ground, before getting back on his feet, as he couldn't help but growl at that of Izuku, with Izuku using his Keyblade to steady himself, before shaking that of the massive migraine headache on his head from all of that stomping that Bakugo did to him. However, even so, he's still having that of a look of pure, utter determination. Within, Bakugo was about to send another blast of explosions, sending him forward. However, the explosions weren't even on the same amount as they used to be. Within, wondering, "What the hell?" As then, in that of a burst of speed, Izuku basically hits Bakugo once again with that of the dry eyes, sending him flying once again. However, not stopping there, he soon creates that of an orb of darkness and an orb of light. Light and darkness, cast a line! Twin burst! Within, soon sending that of the orb straight to Bakugo, as they combine to create that of one giant white orb that consumes Bakugo's body, as then Bakugo begins to scream in that of pure and utter agony from that of the blast, as the light begins to dim away from Bakugo's body, within him going to his knees, as almost his entire gym uniform completely torn apart, with even him basically trying to catch his breath, even though it doesn't look like Bakugo has a single scratch on him. However, that attack wasn't focused on that of his, body. It was focusing on more of his internal stamina and strength to even be able to stand up at all. With then soon saying, "Damn you, Deku!" With then saying, "Seriously, the darkness really is consuming you, Kachan. I'm surprised that you basically allow it to consume you this much." With then saying, "Shut up, you don't know a damn thing." Saying, "Oh really? Throughout this entire event, you have had nothing but tunnel vision for me. Have you ever wondered what hell was going on? And why everybody else was looking at you differently? When people used to see you, people back at Aldera that used to admire you, that used to look up to you, that used to see you as somebody great. Have you ever wondered why everybody here doesn't see you like that anymore?" With then soon, Bakugo couldn't help but grit his teeth, to the point that it almost looks like about to chip one of his own tooth. "I don't give a shit what those damn extras think of me. They can all go straight to hell. They're nothing to me. Their opinions mean nothing to me. Nobody means nothing. I'm supposed to be the greatest. I'm supposed to be number one. But then you, the insolent little pebble, the damn trash that should have stayed beneath me, the damn useless, pointless, and worthless Deku, that should have been nothing but a footnote and forgotten to the whole world for how useless and quirkless you are. But no, You just had to have a quirk. You just had to basically make fun of me all these years. Always basically letting me think that you were better than me. Always secretly knowing that you were always looking down on me. With then soon Izuku saying, so that's what you truly think of me. That's how much you thought that I was hiding my Keyblade all this time because you thought that I was better than you? If that's the case, then within soon, pointing his Keyblade straight at Bakugo, saying, you don't know a damn thing about me, and you never did. With Bakugo completely and utterly shocked, before Izuku continued saying, you don't know a damn thing what's inside of my heart. You have no idea how much I used to admire you, how much I used to look up to you. Even though you've always looked down on me, even though you've done nothing but try and make my life a living hell, all because people have given you so much praise to the point that you let it go to your head. But even so, I still used to admire you for how dedicated and how determined you are wanting to be a hero. But look at you now. You're not the same Kachan I used to admire. All you are is nothing but a husk of what he used to be. You're not Katsuki Bakugo. You're nothing but his dark shadow. Within hearing that, something actually fully snaps into Bakugo. Something that he never thought would actually snap at all. A part of him that refused to let it out until now. Before then, the darkness began to waft off of him even more than before. Almost like it's basically consuming him. Within, Bakugo laughing, saying, look at you, Deku. Getting all big for yourself just because a few damn extras gave you praise. Look at you, thinking that you're better than me all this damn time. All because you had a secret quirk that you didn't want to tell me. And now, because you won a few little events, a useless person like you think you can tell me off. As then, Izuku began to feel a shift throughout the entire arena, and not just him, almost everybody in the arena could feel this shift. From Midnight and Cementos to All Might to Nezu, even Aizawa and Present Mike could feel the pressure whopping off of Bakugo. Within soon, the Master of Masters, also in the arena, could see this pressure too, and couldn't help but smirk before saying, well, looks like it's true. My theory was correct. A darkness so pure that no Heartless, no Dream Eater, no Nightmare could basically consume it. This pressure, this power. Oh yeah, it reminds me of those sentient darkness all those years ago. The very sentient darknesses I have been striving to destroy. It looks like another one might join their ranks. Or, within, looking at that of his pupil, was the master saying, knowing my luck, or theirs, possibly not. Now let's see what you can do, my key. Within, Izuku could feel this darkness completely overwhelming him, terrifying him, completely making him feel like he's insignificant, like all those years back, all those years being tormented, beaten, and treated like nothing because he didn't have a quirk. But then, Izuku begins to feel something, begins to remember everybody else, everybody who's been there by his side, from the master, his mother, his newly minted friends, even the one person he wants to show the most, that he wants to prove that all her help and that all her beliefs in him wasn't misplaced at all. With then, soon, taking a deep breath, as then, Izuku creating that of a barrier, consuming that of the arena. Within, everybody completely shocked seeing the shining light, as the invisible barrier was basically is now over them, with even that of Midnight and Cementos unable to basically go through the barrier, with Midnight throwing her whip to the side. Within, soon Cementos trying using that of his cement to get through the barrier, With then saying, I can't get through. How is this possible? But then Midnight saying, it's Midoriya. He's done this. With then a few of the other faculty and even that of the pros themselves trying to react. As then Izuku couldn't help but smile, thinking, even when this happened, it looks like the pros are still pros at the very end. With then looking back at Bakugo, with then saying, Kachan, this is the amount of darkness that you have in your heart. A darkness so pure that no Heartless could ever match it. With then soon, something begins to emerge from Bakugo as he roars in pure and utter anger. As then, that darkness begins to be consumed, engulfed into that of something different. As then, you could see that of legs popping out of the darkness. However, the feet began looking like that of tank treads. But then soon, arms began to emerge as well, with looking like that of rocket launchers on them, as it soon basically clenches its hands, almost like it's ready, with a chest showing that of a glowing chest piece in the center. However, you could also see the symbol for the unversed in the center as well. Within, the head soon appears as well, as it looks completely and utterly like that of a robot, with explosions with that of exhaust pipes basically showing off that of tons of explosions constantly, as this being the very personal made unversed by that of Bakugo. Within, soon, Bakugo having that of a look of pure and utter hatred on his face, with still having the smile too. Before then, his eyes are completely and utterly red, not from bloodshot, but just pure red. You can't even see his irises as well. Within, soon, Izuku, seeing this, realizing, I better give it my all then. As then he summoned his secondary Keyblade, it looks like that of a black and white Keyblade with that of purple swirls coming off the blade. And as for that of the edge, it shows like that of a red domino mask glasses. This Keyblade is called the Seductress, because this is a Keyblade using a keychain from that of Midnight, but then putting both his Keyblades in that of reverse grips, dual blading both of them. With then soon, everybody is completely shocked that Izuku having more than one Keyblade, or is able to summon more than one, with even that of Nejire and Ryuku also wanting to help out too, as they are also shocked seeing that Izuku is able to use that of two Keyblades. But then soon Ryuku realizing, wait, the Key Warrior, the last time I saw him, he was able to use two key-shaped swords and that grip. Within realizing there's no mistaking it now, Izuku Midoriya truly is the Key Warrior. He truly is the vigilante I have been searching for. As Ryuku coming to this realization, Nejire does the same as well. However, instead of, somewhat finally rectified of her, answer being correct from that of Ryuku, Nejire's expression is that of pure and utter shock and sadness as well, saying, "Oh, Izuku, why couldn't you keep it a secret at least a little bit more longer?" With now the battle between both Izuku and Bakugo. No. The shadow of Katsuki Bakugo is about to reach its climax. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Let's read them. Sorry that this isn't any longer than I normally do, but I feel like this is a good spot to basically, put to have it at least for now. Because the next part is going to be straight up fighting all through and through, non-stop battling over and over. And also, I don't want to ruin my goddamn voice with screaming like Bakugo. Seriously, Clifford Chapman, you are the GOAT being able to voice this guy after all. I don't think I would be able to handle that. But at any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification key to date my videos when I upload to the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, other channel, side channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All link in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Yamuki signing out. Later, guys, and hope you all take care. Do your thing, Shiro.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!